It is in the style of God to do amazing and wonderful things for us. He is a God that does surprises. When it seems as if all hope is lost, that is when He steps in. When it is not unique and special, it is not God. His signature on anything is strange, wonderful, and full of surprise. His ways are not our ways, and that is why we cannot predict or guess what He wants to do. It is part of Him being God and superior over us, and what He would do would leave you amazed at His wonders. Wonder is a feeling of amazement and admiration caused by something beautiful, remarkable, or unfamiliar. It could also be a surprising event or situation. Research has shown that the human brain loves surprises. We love to be surprised with gifts, favors, timely help, and the likes. Right now, it should come to our knowledge that our God is a God of wonders. He does things that would leave us in awe and admiration, and He does not stop there. He does this to us when we least expect it, thereby leaving us surprised and astonished. This He does so we can experience that gift of favor better and appreciate Him. It was His making that road was formed in a sea, highway through the Jordan, and passage by a Jericho wall. He is a God of wonder and surprises. Throughout the Bible, God is seen to perform various wondrous works right from the moment He delivered the Israelites from Egypt to the miracles He did through His apostles. His works are wonderful and as well surprising. The book of Psalms is full of adoration of God's wonderful works to His children. Psalm 77, verse 14, confirms that Thou art the God of wonders. Thou hast declared Thy strength among the people. In the New Testament, precisely 2 Corinthians 12, verse 12, reveals that the sign of an apostle includes signs and wonders. These works were performed by them through the empowering of the Spirit of God. They are notable signs of God's wonder that surprised His people in the Bible. As already stated, the Bible is filled with evidence of God's wonders and how it surprised His people. The following is a list of just a few of the wondrous things He has done in Bible time. Delivering of the Israelites. This story happens to cover one of the most profound wonders of God to His people. The Israelites were in Egypt and were being used as laborers in building. They experienced pain and suffering. During this period, God never forgot them as He made them prosper. However, Pharaoh gave an order that every male child born to an Israelite should be killed. It was at this point that God decided to surprise His people by performing wonders through His prophet Moses. God sent Moses to Pharaoh to let the Israelites leave Egypt, but he declined. We must put in mind that this happened for God to reveal His power to Pharaoh and prove that He's the one and only God and has supremacy over the idols that the Egyptians worshipped. He performed His wonder by causing plagues in the land of Egypt. The plagues included water being turned into blood, frogs, lice, gnats, diseased livestock, boils, hail, locusts, darkness for 3 days, and the killing of all firstborn sons of the Egyptians. These plagues are described in chapters 7 through 11 of the book of Exodus. The surprise here was that while all these happened, the settlement of the Israelites, Goshen, did not experience any of these calamities. Here, God showed His power by performing wonders and surprising His people. The Nebuchadnezzar experience. Nebuchadnezzar was one of the most famous kings in the Bible history. He had a very large empire, which comprises countries he conquered through brutal wars. He even conquered the Israelites and carried most of them captive. He was successful and rich. He had so much gold, silver, and precious stones in his store. Having all of these, he was proud and arrogant. He then had a dream, and the interpretation of the dream came through Daniel. He was driven to the fields like a beast and ate grass like an oxen, and was beaten by the dew of the heaven. This was because he did not acknowledge God in his success. So this was to prove to him that God reigns over the affairs of the earth. After this, he went on to acknowledge God as a wonderful God. Daniel 4, verse 2 through 3. I thought it good to shew the signs and wonders that the high God has wrought toward me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his domain is from generation to generation. This verse shows that what Nebuchadnezzar went through was a wonderful work of God to show his power over him. The story of the 3 Israelites. The book of Daniel is filled with instances of God's wonders for his people. 3 Israelites, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were faced with a dilemma when Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made a golden image and commanded every official in his empire to bow to it. These 3 Israelites have a commandment from God that says that they should not bow down to any image in worship. This infuriated the king, who had them thrown in a hot fiery furnace. Here, God showed his power by protecting them while in the furnace, as they could be seen comfortably moving in the furnace without any sign of being hot. The king had them removed from the furnace and was astonished to see that not even a hair on their body was burnt. Neither did they smell like they just walked out of fire. The king, being astonished and amazed at this, proceeded to make a decree that no one should talk ill of the God of the 3 Israelites, and went on to promote them. This story of God's wonder can be found in the 3rd chapter of the book of Daniel. The New Testament is also filled with a lot of wonderful things God performed through his son Jesus, and the miracles he performed through his apostles. God can show his wonder in our contemporary life. Having seen the wonders of God in the Bible, we should know God is still doing wonders in this age, as he never changes. Here are some ways God will perform wonders that would surprise you in this present time.